If you watch one of my videos over the last 12 months, there has been a secret hiding behind me the entire time, and that secret is right there. 12 months ago, I stuck a piece of paper to my door, and today, I'm gonna reveal what that piece of paper is. This is my YouTube goals for 2023. And today I'm gonna go through all of those goals so we can find out what have I achieved and what have I failed. And then at the end of the video, I'll be writing down my goals for next year. So here we are, Fun YouTube Goals 2023. The first thing I wrote down 12 months ago, make a video with exotic animals, which I accept sounds a bit random, totally out of the blue. I also accept my handwriting is a bit weird. Alright, don't comment about it, I already know. But yeah, basically, I really like animals. I always have, okay? And for my birthday last year, Becky surprised me by inviting a fella around who brought a load of random animals into our living room, including tarantulas, snakes, cockroaches, and a bunch of other things. It was epic. I really loved it. And I thought back then it would be amazing to do some kind of video where I tried to live with exotic animals for 24 hours, or, you know, something like that. So I wrote it down on my list, and have I done it? No, I haven't. This year's just gone so quick. I had a lot of interesting and totally new ideas in my head, but I've just not ended up doing them, and I've ended up just doing a lot of the usual play button stuff or videos about Mr. Beast. Not that they're necessarily bad, but my plan for 2023 was to do that as well as some totally brand new stuff like this. But alas, my first goal of 2023, I have failed. That is sad. What else did I write? Get on TV. This was another video idea. I wanted to see how easy would it be for me to get on TV. And I would try multiple different methods, like hanging around the House of Commons in London and waiting for the news to turn up so I can just walk around in the background. Or applying for game shows and, you know, maybe I'd actually get on one of the game shows. That was the video idea. Once again, I have not done it. However, I have technically got on TV, just not British TV. So it sent me a clip of my picture on Puerto Rican news. I also turned up on Russian news and even Indian news. So technically, I have achieved that goal, but not in the way that I wanted. So it is going to be something that goes on next year's list as well. So I'll write British TV. So the first two ideas were just two things that I thought would make fun videos. What did I write next? Ooh, here we go. 3 million subscribers on JackSucksAtStuff. How many subscribers am I on JackSucksAtStuff? Oh, 4.2 million. That just shows how many subscribers I've gained in the last 12 months. The answer is about 1.6 million, which means that 12 months ago, I was on 2.4 million, and gaining an extra 600k at that point in time sounded like something that would take about 12 months. However, clearly, I underestimated just how successful and effective some of my YouTube shorts could have been, because as you've seen in my analytics videos, some of those shorts gained me over 100,000 subscribers each. So we haven't just achieved this goal, we've actually just added an extra 1 million just for a bit of fun, which kind of just shows how OP YouTube shorts are, because I mean that is way too many for how little effort it was on my end. I think a goal for next year would be to try and gain more subscribers from my long length videos as opposed to just relying on the shorts. But at least that's the first one we've properly done, so let's see what else was next. Oh, here we go. Things are really looking up all of a sudden. Repair PewDiePie Awards. So the reason this one was wrote down is because my emails with Society Awards started in November 2022. It was at that point that YouTube finally approved the idea of me sending the 100 mil award back to them to get it fixed. Now, it took a long time. Just the emails back and forth where we worked out the costs and the logistics of sending it and all of the stuff that I had to keep confidential, that took about 5 months in itself. And then I sent them the award back in March, I think it was. And it didn't get returned to me for 6 whole months. That's a really long time on YouTube. Like, in that 6 months, I gained an extra 1 million subscribers from shorts. But yeah, eventually it did get returned, it did get fixed, so I feel really good about the award just being in beautiful condition once again. The video itself about it being repaired, I was really happy with. However, it didn't explode, it didn't get crazy views, which was a bit of a shame considering it was like a 10-month long process. But I suppose perhaps the video concept is quite niche, because the vast majority of people in the world won't have understood why I had the awards. They probably didn't even know the award was broken. And also, I suppose PewDiePie isn't quite the trending creator he was a few years ago, which was his own choice, of course, no disrespect to him. But either way, so glad that it's repaired, and now it's nice and safe in that little red briefcase. So far, we're doing alright. We've got the last 2 goals achieved. I kind of achieved this one, but not really. But those are pretty good stats. Okay, what did I write next? I honestly can't remember. Record a video in another country. Oh, okay. Well, spoiler alert. Me and Becky haven't left the country in 5 years. So that's why I wrote this down 12 months ago, because I wanted to make sure I had an excuse to do some traveling, Jack. What are you sat here for all the time? But yeah, unfortunately, that is not something that I've achieved this year. And for next year, I really do have no excuse, so it's definitely something that I want to do. I want to primarily go to another country, even if it's just for a nice holiday, but possibly also it would be cool to record something in another country, because there's so many cool things out there that I could make videos on. So that is definitely going on my goals for 2024. Okay, what's the next thing that I wrote? Get the Sidemen a world record. Yeah, goal achieved. So Sidemen World Records video was in the works for a really long time. I messaged Simon September 2022, right after the charity match, because I thought that that would probably be a world record. But because I then spent a really long time trying to find other world records that they could possibly break, and then there was Christmas, which nobody's doing stuff over Christmas, and then into 2023, obviously I was just working on my own videos, got busy with those. So it wasn't until August of 2023, which is literally 11 months after I first reached out to Simon, that I was finally down in London face to face with the boys presenting their world record, which was a really cool moment for me. I was very nervous about it. I couldn't even eat my croissant in the morning, I was that nervous. But it all went okay, and as I said, the video did well. So that is a goal that I achieved, and we really did take the extra step, because just 2 months later, I actually ended up being in a Sidemen Sunday and kind of hosting the Sidemen Sunday too. Which, even though being in a Sidemen Sunday would be a YouTube goal of mine, when I wrote this list, it's not something I ever would have thought would have been a realistic goal, so I wouldn't have bothered writing it down. So yeah, that's pretty epic. That's another one ticked off the list. What else did we do? Get more world records, bracket 7-day challenge. So I had an idea of like doing a series where I upload a video every day for a week and I break a new world record every single day that week. Spoiler alert, anybody? I did not achieve that either. I've let myself down. To be honest, there are just quite a lot of logistics to that. It would require a significant number of planning, but I still think that that would be a really fun series that people would really enjoy for a full week. So maybe I should reach out to Guinness World Records and see if that is something that they want to try and get involved in, and maybe they could give me a bit of help with the planning side. And also, I promised a year ago that this year I'd break a sock-related world record, and I have not done it yet. So far, that is another broken promise, but I will do it. I promise. I will. It'll be within this series if I ever do it. The reason I'm making this video and sharing what my goals for next year are going to be is because I think it'll really motivate me to actually stick to them, because now you guys will be putting pressure on me and constantly reminding me about them. What else did we write? 50 million views on a YouTube short. Ooh, okay. Now, when I wrote this down 12 months ago, the plan was I would make a behind the scenes main channel video where I come up with the concept for this 50 mil YouTube short, I'd film it, put it all together, etc., and then we see how it does, because I assumed in order to get 50 million views on a YouTube short, it would require a significant amount of effort and a really clever concept. However, as it turns out, a random video that I recorded on my geography channel within 2 minutes has 50 million views. So this is the one I achieved, kind of accidentally, because I don't really deserve 50 million views on that geography short. That is absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? I'll take it. That's a ding sound effect, Editor Becky. Thank you. Great. Now, there is only one last goal that I wrote down for 2023. It's another video idea, and it is visit funny place names in the UK. Can you read that? God, I did not nail the writing there. So yeah, there's places in the UK that have funny names like Bell End and Penis Stone, and I thought I could do a video traveling the UK and visiting those names. 12 months on, I kind of feel like, is that good a video? Is that maybe a little bit lame? Would it really be that interesting? I'm not sure. So that's why I don't think I'm that bothered about that idea anymore. I think I'd rather focus on some other things. And that's it. Those were my goals for 2023. So how many did I manage to do? We'll include get on TV, because I mean, I guess I did. We managed 5 out of 9, which is pretty good. If you write down lots of goals and big ones, that means that even if you don't manage to achieve them all, you've still potentially achieved a lot. So I think that's not too bad at all. All right. 2023 list. I've got a piece of paper and I'm ready to go. Wait, it's 2024 list, isn't it? Yeah, that would have been a bad start. 2024. Also, I'm left-handed, so good luck reading anything. There we go. Wow, fantastic. My first goal, I feel like you would expect it. It is 5 million subscribers on JackSucksAtStuff. at Life. There we go, fantastic. I'm 800,000 away. I gained 1.6 million this year. I want to try and do it with less reliance on YouTube Shorts and more reliance on just good long videos. So in order to achieve 5 million on JackSucksAtLife, I need to just upload a little bit more regularly than I currently am, and I need to mix it up a bit more with the kind of videos that I'm doing. And I am excited for that. I could go crazy and have aimed for 10 million or something, but as much as I'd like a diamond play button, 5 million is a nice goal. It's a nice round number. That's a big channel, but it's not getting carried away. 5 million, let's do it. Okay, because writing takes a while and you can't really see it because I'm left-handed, I've gone ahead and written all of the goals in advance, and I'm just going to reveal them one by one. So we have 5 million on JackSucksAtLife. I think that's a great starting goal. Next is quite similar. 2 million subs on JackSucksAtStuff. That says JackSucksAtStuff, by the way. I'm not that far from 2 million already. I think we're like 400k away. But JackSucksAtStuff is a fun channel with a really nice, strong community, and I think I should focus on building that up. So I want to make sure that the Thursday videos are really consistent and have a good amount of fun and unique ideas. Hopefully keep the Reddit series going, because I know a lot of people really kind of rely on it now as part of their routine. And not to get crazy or anything, but maybe an extra video on occasion, third video in the week. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. I'm not sticking to that. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. New U2s. Basically, having a figure like this of yourself that is such incredible high quality is the coolest thing ever. And I'm working on another one right now. We've basically just finished the design, so they're moving over to the actual, like, molding the shape stage. And I'm so excited about it. It's a new JackSucksAtLife figure. By the time it comes out, it'll have been 4 years since this was released. So I've got a lot more play buttons. It really does need modernizing. And it's just gonna be such a cool product. I don't think I released any merch or products at all this year, so I want to make sure I have something going on for the next year. Okay, so far that's 3 quite achievable goals, I think. Anyway, let's see what else. Be louder on podcasts. I've done, is it 2 podcasts this year? And I think I've done like 4 podcasts total. And I like the idea of going on podcasts. But when I watch those podcasts that I've featured on back, and when I check the comments on those podcasts, I realised that I haven't projected my voice enough, and I just sound a bit boring, and like I look a bit awkward. And that's partly just because when you're talking to a camera on YouTube by yourself, you develop a YouTube voice that's loud and passionate sounding. Whereas in real life, I talk kind of way calmer and more relaxed to people, understandably. However, I don't think that translates that well to a recorded podcast, because a podcast kind of needs to be a bit of a balance between the two in order to remain engaging. And that's something I want to get better at. I want to make sure I appear as confident as I am, because my confidence has grown, but I don't think the podcast appearances that I've done have reflected that as well as they could have. So I want to make sure if I get invited to anything else, I appear as engaging and as enthusiastic as I feel in my brain. I think partly it could be because each podcast that I've been on, I've had a 3-hour train journey right before, so I'm obviously going to be a little bit deflated by the time I get there. So if I get invited to anything else, I'll get a hotel the night before, so I wake up bright and early, full of energy. This one might be difficult if no one invites me onto a podcast, so hopefully there's at least one in the next 12 months. Trading cards. This is me shilling more stuff. If I make a merch, I want it to be really good. That's why I'm so passionate about the U2s. I can't show you the pictures or anything yet, but the U2s that we have currently designed, I think it's gone back and forth between me and the designer like 9 different times, because I keep asking for tiny details to be changed with like the scale of certain play buttons or certain little details on those awards that I want to make sure are accurate and perfect. And I'm probably really annoying the U2's team at this point. But another product that I think could be really cool and really well executed are trading cards. I love these sidebend cards that they've released. They're just really nicely designed. I love the idea of having little autographs that people can randomly have a chance of getting, and I want to do it myself because I want a shiny turd boy. So I'm already working with a company. We have a load of cards planned out, and I hope that they'll be out at some point in 2024 as well, because that'll just be so epic. Even if nobody buys them, it'll be worth it for me, myself, to have my own signed shiny turd boy. Alright, what else did I write? Collab with 10 YouTubers. I think collabing with YouTubers is a good thing to encourage, because we're all on the same team, and, you know, it's good to help each other out when we can. Now, 10 sounds like quite a lot for an antisocial person like myself, but when you actually give it a 12-month period, it's not that many. Like, this year, if we count the Sidemen, that's 7. If we're counting the YouTubers that I reached out in my thumbnail video, like Dan TDM, Tommy, Arak. That's probably another 10 as well. And we're not even including my geography channel, where I've collabed with people like Zigzag and Drew Durnall. That's all been in the last 12 months. So yes, 10 YouTubers, I think that's nice and achievable, and it'll be fun to meet new people. Okay, there are 3 more. What are they? Record a video with cool animals. This one I was meant to achieve this year. I have not, thus it needs to continue into next year. I have changed the phrasing from exotic to cool, just to give me a little bit more scope as to the kind of video I do. If you've got any kind of idea for something that you think could make a really interesting video, let me know down below. And then also from last year, visit another country. Even though this is specifically YouTube goals rather than personal goals, I have changed it from record a video in another country just to visit another country. That doesn't mean I can't also record a video while I'm there, but primarily I just need to leave the UK for a bit, please. And the final goal for 2024, unless you have something else which is a really good idea, you can whack it in the comments. Maybe I will add it to the list. But for now, it's the 7-day world record series. Once again, it's a concept that I wanted to do this year. I did not get around to it. I think it could be really cool, and I'm going to try and do it for next year, and it'll be epic. So that was what I did and didn't achieve in 2023, and also what I hope to achieve in 2024. I think it's really good to write down goals. I encourage you to do so yourself. Could just be things like start learning a new language, exercise more, just anything that you think might have a positive impact on yourself and the people around you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This was quite sweet, this actually, wasn't it? All right, I'll see you later.